Hi, and welcome back. We are still here talking about The Great Gatsby, the classic American novel by F. Scott Fitzgerald. So we've been looking at the first two-thirds of the book. We're 6 chapters in. We've looked at the character development, some of the central conflicts, and we've been touching on the big thematic ideas such as morality, the effects of superficiality and consumerism, the American dream, what motivates people, illusion versus reality, all of these big ideas that apply not only to the characters, but also to Fitzgerald's ideas of the 1920s America context. And now we're taking a step beyond to see how can we apply those thematic concepts to our own lives as well? How do we see those popping up 101 years after the publication of the book? Remember, we've talked about theme before, and theme is something that goes beyond a specific moment in one specific text. It relates to the human experience. Okay, so that's how these things stay relevant. We're connecting them to our lives, to what we already understand, and building on those bridges of connection. What you're going to be doing today to practice those skills and to learn those concepts is you are going to be generating a list of connections and prior understanding in order to deepen your understanding of those thematic concepts. You'll do this on your own, and then you will move into a collaborative zone, if you will, with a small group in which you will work to brainstorm, draft, create, revise, and ultimately publish a thematic statement. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through step by step, just kind of the overview of what that assignment will look like, and then you can read the more detailed steps as you work through it. So what you're going to do, first of all, is to log into Blend and find the assignment that is titled Gatsby Theme Statements. Once you see that, you'll open it, and there is a link within it to make a forced copy of the Google Doc. Okay, so go ahead and open that, retitle it, and save it to your Google Drive folder, as we've been doing all year. And then, as you can see, here are the 3 main parts of today's assignment. So as you begin, you'll look at the document that you made the copy of. And if you scroll down, you'll see that there is a chart I built for you with 5 thematic concepts. All right. For each thematic concept, you're going to define it in your own words. So don't just Google Merriam-Webster definition of American dream. I want you to think about, what does it mean to you? How would you explain it to a friend? You're constructing your own definition and meaning, which makes it a little more memorable and personalized. Now, if you're struggling to do that, instead of writing your definition, you can write a couple of questions you have about it. What's confusing you? What's tripping you up? Then I want you to take a little time to research those questions. Okay? So you're either deepening your understanding or crafting it. If there's still some confusion, it's all good. We're going to talk more about it. Once you've done that, you're going to come up with examples of how this thematic concept shows up in other areas of the real world. It could be your own life experience. It could be other parts of the Great Gatsby book or the movie version we've been watching. It could be in other texts. It could be in song lyrics. It could be in poetry, in history. Building those connections to things you already know is going to strengthen your understanding of it as it comes up in the novel. So I will give you time when we're working through this to come up with a list. Bullet points are fine. If you're working with another language, you can translate and put translations. You can use images. You could find videos. I've already linked one video for each option that can help you with some understanding if you're more of a visual learner. Okay, so again, we're just building those bridges. That's on your own. After a set amount of time, I will be moving us into the collaboration portion. So you're already seated at your small group tables. What I'm going to do is come around and assign you, and you can't switch. I'm going to assign you one of the 5 thematic concepts. Okay, so for example, if your group gets the American dream, you are responsible for talking to each other about your understanding of that concept and then developing a theme statement. Okay, we've gone over theme statements throughout the year. If you've forgotten the formula for it, you can look at your English 1 formula chart in your notebook. There's also a digital resource in the Blend course under resources. Once your group has come up with your masterpiece of a theme statement, make sure it is punctuated correctly, and it is strong and it has all the elements, you are going to type it up and post it to the class Padlet. That is linked within the document that you made the copy of. Okay, only one person per group needs to post it. Add everyone's name so I know whose it is. And then ultimately, once everyone has posted, we are going to go as a class and discuss those. Okay, it's not a critique. We're not trying to tear people down. We're looking at what people have done well, and we're helping each other out throughout the class. So we may revise a few things. We'll look at what's working. We'll talk through what could strengthen it. Remember, our goal with writing is always just to get better. It's not to be perfect. It's to get better. The takeaway from this is you will then evaluate on your own all of the different theme statements, and you're going to either choose the one you think is strongest for each concept or make more necessary revisions, copying these into your final document, which you'll upload individually. Okay, so those 3 steps are on your own, you're building those bridge connections and making meaning of the concept. In a small group, you are coming up with a thematic statement and posting it to the Padlet. And then as a whole group, we're going through them, we're looking at what's working, we're talking through the strengths, and then you're revising as necessary to turn in your own final version. And that's it. In the end, we should be stronger at understanding theme, writing about theme, and ultimately setting ourselves up to explore and analyze the text.